Hello everyone, it's Becca Switzer with Roof Sales Mastery and author of Diamonds in the Sky, and I am going to address a question that I'm getting a lot this time of year. Right now it's like late September going into fall, and I've had a lot of calls with like newer salesmen or people that are looking to enter the industry and do the sales job, and they're always asking me like, is this an okay time to start? Like, isn't it kind of seasonal and blah, blah, blah? So I wanted to address that question and kind of give my insight. So first and foremost, yes, this work is seasonal in the fact that typically storms happen in the spring, right? Sometimes later in the summer too. And, you work and you sell and you do construction through the summer until winter time, depending on what part of the country you're in. And of course, if you've got 2 feet of snow on the roof, you're not going to be able to do an inspection, and obviously you can't do a re-roof at that time. So I understand where this question comes from. However, and then also people think, if I'm getting started and I'm going to be selling and I'm going into these slow winter months, is this a bad time? Like, should I wait until springtime when there's more work and blah, blah, blah? So here's the thing. The obvious answer people tend to think is, well, it's probably smarter to wait till spring. That's when there's a ton of work to be done and blah, blah, blah. But I kind of have a differing opinion. Honestly, I think that any time of the year is a good time to start for different reasons. So sure, in the springtime, there's a shitload of work. You can pretty much go anywhere. There's tons and tons of jobs that need to be done, roofs that need to be inspected, and so on. But the problem is, if you're a brand new person, it is so competitive during that time, and it's very hectic. And when you're brand new, you're not going to get a lot of support from, the company that you're working for in terms of training, stuff like that, because they are running around like chickens with their head cut off, trying to make hay while the sun's shining, for lack of better terms. So it sounds like, oh, that's probably the best time because that's when there's, the most work to be done and blah, blah, blah. But, don't take for granted late season starts. I honestly kind of believe that late season starts are probably, that's kind of like the honey hole of timing to start doing the sales gig. And here's why. Yes, there may be some neighborhoods that are pretty picked over, but I promise you, not all the roofs are done. There's no such thing, okay? There's never any such thing as that. There's always work left out there. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you probably heard me talk about there's 3 groups of people when it comes to jumping on board as a customer with storm damage. And one of them is the early adopters. They jump on board right away. Second group is the bandwagoners. They kind of wait for the middle. And then the third group is the late adopters. And they take forever. There's a huge storm happening over here, by the way. So that's cool. Speaking of late season activity, and then the people wait until 6 months later, or till over the winter, the springtime next year, right before the claim period ends. They're crazy. So starting at this time actually can be a huge benefit. There's not very much competition. If you find yourself a little honey hole, you can go and pluck out. If you just get one deal a week, that's $1,000 to $1,500 in your pocket. How much do you need? That'd be making $50 grand a year if that's all you did all year long. Okay. And then the other thing is you have time to learn. You're not feeling like everything's going a million miles around you or a million miles per hour around you, and you're stumbling over yourself and you're losing opportunities, and there's a lot of pressure because there's a ton of competition and your company can't help, blah, blah, blah. So I actually really favor late season selling. Now, again, if you're in the Twin Cities, St. Paul, Minneapolis, and there's 4 feet of snow and 1.5 feet of ice encasing everything in the winter, that might not be always an option. But most of the time, guys, even if you live in Missouri or something like that, and especially if you live down south, Georgia or Tennessee or Oklahoma or whatever, you guys might get a little bit of winter, but it's you get a bit of snow and then it's gone. Some mornings you're gonna have frost on the roofs, but a lot of the time it's pretty mild. As long as you can do an inspection, you can do an inspection. And then, as far as re-roofing, well, as long as it's over 40, 45 degrees, you guys can be putting on roofs too. Most companies are roofing all throughout the winter. So you just have to have the mindset that, okay, maybe it might be a little bit picked over, but there is work out there. And if I can, do you believe you can pull out one deal a week out of that, I promise you can, even in the most to give you a little more confidence about that, guys, I just talked to one of my clients who's in North Carolina, and they haven't had a storm all year. No storm. And when I talked to them, which was literally like a week and a half ago, they had done 60 roofs this month. 60! Okay, so it's out there. So anyways, that's just kind of my point here is, guys, there really isn't a bad time to start. I like the late season selling. Get yourself some training, go out there, and then it's kind of easy because nobody else is really out there. So I hope that helps kind of answer some of your questions. As usual, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Sorry I haven't been looking at the camera, but I'm driving down the road. So, subscribe to the YouTube channel. I put out fresh videos as consistently as I can about tips and tricks and stuff like that. If you really want to kick ass at this job, please buy a program. Like, guys, I'm really proud of the material that I've put in those programs because it works. And I can tell you that with 100% confidence because at this point, there are thousands of people, contractors and salesmen across the country who are using my systems and swear by it. It's changed the game for them. I want you to be one of those people. If not, it's okay. You can keep watching the free, quick tips and stuff like that. But if you're really serious about diving in, I promise you'll love it. It's full of gold nuggets. So, what else? Guess that's it for now. Love you guys. Check out the website, www.roofsalesmastery.com for programs and other stuff like that. And I will catch you later. Bye.